Hello? Yeah, we got it now, Don. Thanks. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the celebration of Faculty Excellence in Teaching and Research. And first, I want to thank Vic and Dana for scripting things out here so well. It prevents me from doing my best Jimmy Kimmel. So you're not gonna get that. And I was just reflecting on things on the way over here, and how nice it is to be able to celebrate our teaching and research that we do in relative freedom in this country, in this province, in relation to our neighbors in the South. And you know, it's important that we keep it that way. So thank you to students, colleagues, family, and supporters for joining us here today. Thanks to Christy for joining me in hosting. For those who may not know me, my name's Fergal O'Hagan, and I'm the Acting Dean of Education and Professional Learning at Trent. And today we gather to celebrate the extraordinary achievements of our educators and researchers. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mitch Huguenin, educational developer in Indigenous pedagogy, to acknowledge the land on which we gather.
Thank you very much, Fergal. Everyone can hear me okay? I was just sharing with my seatmate, I guess you could say, it's important when we share land acknowledgements to speak very authentically and from the heart. And so I'm going to share with folks today. I'm frazzled. I received some pretty big news recently from my wife, and we're expecting our first child. And yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So we're at the midwives appointment this morning, about an hour ago. So still just very excited about how that all went. But I would like to share my thoughts and feelings about my relationship with this place that we call Ngojwanong. My ancestors left Red River about 200 years ago, and they did so with the fur trade changing, the world changing, settlement and colonialism evolving, and they made their way to a place called Drummond Island on Lake Huron, and that's the location that I identify as being sort of a precursor to my own home community. From Drummond Island, after the War of 1812, they traveled to Penetanguishene, where I was raised. My folks still live there, and I grew up in Penetanguishene. I had no idea that I'd be creating a life here in Peterborough or Ngojwanong, and I'm just so I've been so reflective on this with my life changing a lot recently. I want to express really sincere thanks and gratitude to the Michi-Saagiig people, the first peoples and original peoples of Ngojwanong. This is their traditional and treaty territory that we work and live within. I would like to extend my thanks to the Michi-Saagiig for their teachings and care for these lands, their teachings about our relations. And I think it's meaningful for us to come together in celebration of teaching and research. These are activities that Indigenous peoples have been involved in since time immemorial. As we carry on our lives throughout this celebration, after this celebration, I think it's important to keep those traditional teachings, those original teachings and ancestral stories in mind every day, not just in these moments where we're acknowledging the land. Thank you very much. Marcy Chimigwech.
Thank you, Mitch, and congratulations. That's such exciting news, and I feel like the Trent Teaching Commons family is growing. I see families here, I see kids here. It's wonderful. This is a celebration. It's serious, but we are having fun. If you are a kid or a kid at heart, can I get a woohoo? Woohoo! Yes. And now, to not give Vic a heart attack, I will go back on script. Thank you, Mitch. My name is Christy Bucheri. I am the Acting Associate Dean of Teaching and Learning. I am your co-MC for today's event with Fergal. This ceremony is the culmination of a collaborative effort that began many months ago Students and faculty devoted time and energy to nominating hundreds of outstanding educators and researchers. Committee members reviewed and scored pages of nominations and met to deliberate and determine recipients. We are privileged to be able to share in such a special occasion and honor our esteemed faculty for all their contributions to teaching and research. They design courses that inspire learning, challenge perspectives, and help our students to thrive. Our research faculty continue to innovate and creatively define and develop their fields. It is astounding to see all the incredible research being conducted here at Trent, and it is a pleasure to be able to recognize the contributions made by our researchers. On that note, I would like to welcome Dr. Sarah West, Dean of Sciences, who will introduce the 2025 Early Career Researcher Award.
I'm just going to usurp that for a sec. Merci, Mitch. I was asked to speak, really, and I do have some notes. I'll try not to go on too long, but I do have some notes for you. Good afternoon. I have actually been looking, I'm Kathy Bruce, 9th President and Vice Chancellor of Trent University, and I've been looking forward to this event for months because it's about people and it's about the deep commitment and incredible creativity of Trent faculty. And it's about reminding ourselves to stay focused on Trent's academic mission. Today we celebrate and embrace teaching that inspires deep and lasting learning and research that breaks new ground and creates new knowledge and builds understanding. So I'd like to say a little bit, I'll keep it short, about teaching and a little bit about research as an opening reflection to today. So in terms of teaching, exceptional teaching is about more than content, we know that. It's about connection and transformation. Exceptional teaching sparks curiosity, challenges assumptions, and fosters deep engagement. At Trent, this isn't just an aspirational statement. It happens every day in the classrooms, in the labs, in the fieldwork at this institution. I see Trent faculty and instructors intensely committed to the power of great teaching. And in reflecting on the power of great teaching and a Trent education overall, I'm going to make a few suggestions. I think education leads to self-knowledge. Education offers risk-taking, failure, getting back up, and in that way builds grit. It also brings success and joy, fosters leadership in so many variations. Education really is a privilege. And the more education, the greater the chances of developing humility. I think education leads to the quiet power of critical and creative thinking. This year alone, more than, and I'm going to say a number and I hope it's right, more than 300 students took the time to write thoughtful, detailed nominations describing how their professors and instructors inspired them, supported them, and changed the trajectory of their learning journeys. I think you'll see today through the Teaching Award recipients illustrations of what it means to help students in meaningful ways. These professors create spaces where students are challenged to think deeply and where students are supported to grow in confidence. I would say, as evidenced with over 60,000 alum, the effects are lasting. Okay, so now a couple of notes on research. And at Trent, research is also integral to our academic mission. And we know that research and teaching go hand in hand. It's part of our academic identity and shapes who we are as an institution. And of course, research at Trent takes many forms. Deep, focused inquiry that accumulates knowledge over time. Collaborative work that crosses disciplines and institutions. And daring questions that lead us to discovery, new paradigms, new worlds of knowledge and understanding. And today we're going to recognize a broad range of researchers at Trent, those whose lifetime contributions have shaped disciplines locally and globally, and in the process have mentored new generations of researchers and thinkers. But we're also going to recognize researchers in the early stages of their careers, bringing fresh insights to pressing, perhaps wicked challenges. Trent does, this is a very common statement, but I do believe it. Trent does punch above its weight in size, in research productivity and funding, and that's what a thriving research university looks like. One that honors experience, welcomes new voices, and nurtures discovery. So, to all of you here today, thanks for indulging me. We are in this together. We must be in this together, to Fergal's point, as threats to democracy, academic freedom, and the power of education are seeping in. This is more important than ever. I thank you for your incredible efforts. Congratulations to today's award recipients. Wow, wait till you hear from them. And thank you to everyone who nurtures Trent's remarkable ecosystem of learning and discovery. So now, Sarah, I'm going to let you come over here. It's my honor to introduce, I get to introduce Sarah too. Introduce Dr. Sarah West, Dean of Science. Thanks, Sarah.
I'll take all the introductions. That's fine by me. Hi, everyone. How are we doing today? I know. I feel like that was a little soft. Are we doing really great? We're excited to be here. Me as well. Absolutely. So I truly am very excited to be here. It's an amazing and a fantastic reason for us to gather together and really to celebrate so many wonderful achievements. So now we have the pleasure of acknowledging the remarkable achievements of our early career researchers through the Trent University Early Career Researcher Award. This was established in 2021, and these awards celebrate the achievements of early career researchers. The award reflects our commitment to fostering innovation, excellence, and growth within our academic community, providing recognition, encouragement, and support for promising early career researchers to thrive and establish sustainable and amazing research programs. So I am so very delighted to present our first 2025 Early Career Researcher Award this afternoon to Dr. Stephanie Tobin. Dr. Tobin, she joined us here at Trent in 2021 as an assistant professor in the Department of Biology. She is recognized as a global leader in research of cellular aging and cell repair mechanisms. Her expertise is reflected in her publications in leading journals such as the American Journal of Physiology and Aging and the Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology Journal. Now, I may have PubMed'd her the other day just to take a peek at her newest publications, and I wanted to highlight that she's an author on the newly published An Expert Consensus Statement on Biomarkers of Aging for Use in Intervention Studies. This identified 14 potential biomarkers of aging which may be used as outcome measures in intervention studies. I think her involvement in such publications points to her recognition as a leading expert in this area and field. Stephanie has also been awarded numerous national grants, including the NSERC Discovery and Alliance grants. And I also just learned that she and her team, which include a number of biology faculty members who are also being recognized here today, were successful on an NSERC RTI, a Research Tools and Instruments Award, for a brand new flow cytometer. In addition to being a research rock star, Stephanie also has been nominated for the Trent University Declan Award for Teaching Excellence in the Sciences in 2023. Congratulations, Dr. Tobin, and I would like to invite you up to make a few remarks.
All right. I have notes. So a couple thank yous, and then I guess not so much words of wisdom, but what's worked for me. So thank you so much for this honor. Thank you to the Office of Research Innovation and the Research Policy Committee and those who wrote in their letters of support for this award. And also thank you to my family, my husband Michael, and my kids Diana and Emma, my family watching from Nova Scotia, my family here in Ontario. Thanks for cheering me on. Also thank you to my collaborators and mentors. Your input has been so important in helping me through this challenge. And thank you to the research centers here, like the Trent Centre for Aging and Society and the Molecules, Cells, and System Research Center too, for supporting mine and my students' work. And big thank you to all the students who have passed through my lab. We know Trent is a primarily undergrad research and teaching institute, and so I usually mentor several undergrad students per year in thesis projects, and it can be challenging to train people from kind of the ground up in a way, but all of the students I've had have been so excellent, and I couldn't have built my research program without them. And then lastly, I guess the words of wisdom. So one of the things that I've done in my early career is work with lots of different people within biology and outside of my home department. And so it's important to set up your own independent research program, but when I started here at Trent, I wasn't sure how, so I networked with lots of faculty here, staff here as well, and found individuals who are fundamentally interested in discovery, and we have some really interesting projects that I'm looking forward to see where they go. So I can't shout out everyone in my department, but I wish I could, but just some people who I've been working on papers and grants with. Thank you to Neil, Paul, Janet, Kaylee, Erin, Maggie, Kate, Jen, Holly, and Kirk, and again, that's just to name a few. If I could name drop everyone, I would. Thank you all so much for your support, and I really appreciate this. Thanks.
Thank you, Stephanie. We'll need to make sure that we got the Prez on the list, eh? It's like leaving Beyonce out of the Grammys. Yeah, okay. And it's great. Like we rub shoulders with so many different people at Trent through our research. It's really nice. So I'll ask Sarah back to introduce our second award recipient.
Thank you very much, Virgil. I think I have the best job because I get to present multiple awards today. So I'm absolutely thrilled to present our second 2025 Early Career Researcher Award this afternoon to Dr. Mary Claire Buell. Dr. Well joined Trent in 2023 and is an assistant professor cross-appointed with the School of the Environment and the Department of Forensic Science. Dr. Buell's research program is transdisciplinary, bridging together environmental toxicology, chemistry, and community, including indigenous knowledges. She has worked to develop a pioneering framework for eco-toxicological risk, I practice that word quite a bit, which has received global recognition for articulating the limitations of standard risk assessment methodologies. To say that Mary Claire has established an outstanding research program with an incredible track record in obtaining research funding would be a true understatement. So just to put this into perspective, since 2023, Mary Claire has been involved in securing over $2.6 million of funding for research. It's 2025 right now, that's only 2 years. Since 2023, she's done that. In addition to a long list of publications, Mary Claire has prioritized mentoring and supervising highly qualified personnel, including at least 15 undergraduate, 5 graduate students, and 3 postdoctoral fellows. Importantly, her community-engaged research program shows a true dedication to advancing equity, diversity, inclusion, and justice in research, emphasizing scientific innovation and engagement with indigenous knowledges. Mary Claire is not only a standout researcher, but she was also recognized with the CUPE Award for Excellence in Teaching back in 2023. Congratulations, Dr. Buell. I invite you to make a few remarks. Right here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Great.
Oh, thanks, Dr. West, and thanks, Awards Committee. It's such an honor to be presented this award, and it feels so special and such an honor to have my research have its home at Trent. It feels very special. And Stephanie, I don't know how you kept your composure. I feel so nervous up here. Of course, this research and the success so far, I suppose, is it's not just me. There's just so many amazing people in my lab. My lab manager, Philip Siambi, he he's a big heart and soul of that. And then my students, they are incredible, and they volunteer their time to support community relationships and each other. And then there's the communities who trust us to come into community and work with them, and trust us to bring their knowledge into into these research spaces, but also trust the data and the knowledge that we get to share with them. So yeah, all of that kind of comes together and makes what we do successful, I suppose. And my nominators, who are also my friends and my mentors, Dr. Stephanie Rutherford and Dr. Barbara Wall, I'm so grateful for your support and your encouragement. And then, of course, my family, thank you for your support, my parents, and my husband, Trevor Marshall. If any of you are the spouse of a tenure track faculty, you know that it's like this is crazy with stress and trying to do it all. My sons, Hudson and Theodore, who are here today. Doing community-based research requires being in community a lot. And this sometimes means they get to tag along, which is super fun, but it also sometimes means I'm away for long stretches of time. And their unwavering support keeps me going and excited about the future of my research, but also what this means for the next generation. So I look forward to continuing research, advancing our understanding of contaminants in the environment, and continuing to use this platform I have here at Trent and the privilege I have here being a part of the Academy to create space for diverse ways of knowing, to be a part of research. And I guess, as Stephanie sort of said, words of wisdom. I'm not sure I'm at a wisdom stage yet, but I do see this as a necessary step towards addressing environmental inequities and the disproportionate burden that environmental contaminants have on those who do not have the same privilege as me. So thank you so much for listening to this, and also for this award. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Mary Claire. I think I would like to welcome Dr. Mark Skinner. Yes, I would. I would like to welcome Dr. Mark Skinner, Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, who will present the final 2025 Early Career Researcher Award.
I think we have to save applause for the awardees, right? Thank you, Christy and Sarah for leading the way. So my name's Mark Skinner. I'm currently the Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences. It's my pleasure to present the third 2005 Early Career Research Award, and this is one of my last duties as Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences before I start a role as interim provost. So it's a real delight and a pleasure to be able to offer this award. And this is from the humanities. And so it's another special part of that. So the 2005 Early Career Research Award, third in this series, goes to Dr. Melanie Rosen. So Dr. Melanie Rosen is an assistant professor currently, soon to be associate professor with tenure this July. Congratulations. In the Department of Philosophy. And it's the Department of Philosophy that was part of the nomination for this award, and I want to acknowledge that department, many of the members that are here today this afternoon. Dr. Rosen's research focuses on dreaming, exploring it from perspectives of both philosophy and cognitive science. Exemplifying Trent's strength in interdisciplinary research, her scholarship expertly engages both the humanities and the sciences. And as an exemplar of early career excellence, since the time of her appointment at Trent, so this would have been the year 2000, and leading into the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Rosen has established a highly productive, internationally recognized, and increasingly impactful program of research. This includes not only her papers in top peer-reviewed philosophy journals and edited collections, as well as 3 books, including her most recent, The Dreaming Mind, Understanding Consciousness During Sleep. It also includes her success in acquiring multiple research grants, most recently her Shirk Insight grant-funded study on wearable technologies for dream tracking. And I believe this means she's kitting people out with Fitbits while they sleep. Not to mention several invited international keynote presentations, almost one a year, which is outstanding for an early career researcher, and her collaboration on multi-institutional international grants investigating the positive role of dreams in treatment of depression. The caliber and field-defining potential of Dr. Rosen's scholarship is best expressed by a recent reviewer of her work, so I want to quote that here. "I'm convinced that Dr. Rosen's research on dreaming has promoted the recent surge of interest in this topic, and its integration into interdisciplinary consciousness research is doing a significant service to the field. I can't think of a better recognition at an early career stage for a reviewer to be talking about career-defining and discipline-leading potential like this. Congratulations, Mel. We look forward to following your impressive career going forward, and I'd like to invite you to come make some remarks."
So I guess I'll tell a story. I was fortunate enough to come to Trent at probably the best time in history to move to a new country and start a new job. June 2020. The previous 3 years, I had the standard long-distance relationship academic experience with my partner living in Australia and me in Denmark, as long a distance as you can get on the planet. But with incredible luck, we both managed to get a very rare honor of 2 academic jobs at the same university. He won the research award last year. Not to brag. So we moved to Canada, and we were finally back together after 3 years apart. But really together. All day in lockdown. This was one of the rare times that philosophy is the ideal research field. All you need is access to some kind of library or books online, your thoughts, and some way of writing those thoughts down. But when Trent finally opened back up again, I was very grateful to enter a department which was open to the kind of weird interdisciplinary stuff that I'm into. Not that common in philosophy. In fact, it really opened the doors for me being a truly interdisciplinary researcher with a mix of philosophical and empirical work. I also had great support from the research office for getting funding, which is also not very common in philosophy, to do these wacky projects. And I have, and continue to have, a great group of enthusiastic students willing to tell me about their weirdest and sometimes spicy dreams. It's anonymous, don't worry. And also a team of smart student assistants willing to wade through the data that I collect when I'm up to my eyeballs in teaching prep. I have great international collaborators who bring the skills that I lack in the empirical research. And I'd also like to thank my department members who nominated and supported me and gave me a nice confidence boost, saying that they thought my research was good, and the selection committee for awarding me this prize. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie, and congratulations to our very worthy and inspiring recipients. I would now like to welcome Dr. Michael Kahn, Trent's Provost and Vice President Academic, who will be presenting the award for Educational Leadership and Innovation.
Thanks, Virgil, and it's a pleasure to be here, and certainly an honor to follow our incoming provost as the outgoing provost at Trent University. We wish you all the best, Mark. As one of my last acts, it's certainly a pleasure to present the award for Educational Leadership and Innovation, an award that recognizes faculty and staff who have distinguished themselves through educational leadership, teaching, innovation, and successful communication. This year, it has been awarded to Dr. Joanna Freeland. Joanna, a professor in the Department of Biology, is recognized for her outstanding leadership and innovation at the course, departmental, and institutional level. Dr. Freeland has reimagined biology course offerings, established new degree streams, and altered course requirements to build more equitable and effective learning pathways. Joanna distinguished herself amid a particularly competitive field of nominees this year, receiving a staggering number of lengthy nominations, resulting in the longest nomination package in the history of the award. I think that might have something to do with biology. Joanna's many nominations noted the ways in which her dedication to service, cross-interdisciplinary collaboration, and curricular innovation made a profound impact on Trent University. Congratulations, Joanna, and I now invite you to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very honored to receive this award. It means a lot to me. But none of us works in a vacuum, and so what I really want to do is acknowledge that this award reflects the Trent community as much as anything else. And I want to particularly give a shout out to the biology department. There's a lot of you here, so thank you, biology department. I especially want to thank Janet Yee, who led this apparently lengthy nomination. And thanks to everybody who contributed. And I also want to acknowledge Tracy Ross, who was our departmental coordinator for many years and who also played a really important role in a lot of curriculum development at Trent. So thanks to many people. And I want to say hi to Will, my son, and his partner Emma, who came out. Emma's in biology. And thank you very much to the committee, a huge amount of work, I know, and to the people who put this on. I think it's lovely that you did that. Don't underestimate the workload involved in that. So thank you very much for everything today.
Congratulations, Joanna. It is now my pleasure to introduce Christian Metaxas, one of our talented e-learning designers, to present the 2025 Award for Excellence in Online Teaching.
Hi. It is an honor to present the award for excellence in online teaching to Dr. George Kovacs, Associate Professor in the Department of Ancient Greek and Roman Studies. This award recognizes instructors who have demonstrated a passion and commitment to online teaching, those who have implemented effective approaches to fostering active learning and student involvement. As highlighted by one nomination in particular, Dr. Kovacs' innovative approach to teaching has cultivated a digital environment of self-directed learning. Dr. Kovacs' origin of a modern terminology, which employs a choose-your-own-adventure design, is exemplary of a dedication to facilitating such creative and engaging learning experiences that empower students to meet success on their own terms. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Kovacs, who I will now invite up here to accept the award and share remarks as he sees fit.
All right, thank you, everybody. Yeah, when I first conceived of this course, 2016, 17, I don't really think I knew what I was getting into. I probably wouldn't have done it if I did. But I had to learn about the teaching of etymology and terminology. I had to learn about teaching online in a pre-pandemic world before we'd all been forced to do it. So it was a massive amount of work to build the course, probably 4 to 5 times more than any other course I've worked on. But like any other worthwhile project, it is a product of collaboration. So I'd be wrong if I didn't give a shout out to Lewis Stiles and Kyle McLeister, who are at McMaster University and Radix Press, who had been teaching terminology for years and had been working on converting the really old, crusty version of these courses where you just did vocabulary memorization and that sort of thing, into a more dynamic process of understanding not just etymology, but terminology building. So it's much more dynamic. And so we had a really awkward sort of first day workshop where I was trying to figure out what they were doing with the teaching. They were trying to figure out what the hell I meant about all of these multiple pathways within the course. But by the end of the second day, we had a framework for what would become the textbook for the course, and we revisited and revised it together, and I'm looking forward to working with them again. So that's collaboration of the past, but I'm excited about collaboration for the future as well, because by kind permission of the Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, the current one, right, for now, I'm actually not teaching the course next year. It'll go on hiatus for a year while I take the course into the very rigorous development process that Trent Online and now the Trent Teaching Commons has developed. So I'm going to be working with really talented guys like Terry Green and Christian. Are you going to be there? Are we going to see each other? Yeah. Okay. Great. Where we'll put the course through its paces. We'll redevelop. I've been asked specifically by students to keep the multiple pathways. That's absolutely not on the chopping block. But we're going to be looking at new ways to advance the testing and thinking about more sort of critical thought in some of the assignments. And so I'm really excited about doing all of that. It's a great process, and it's one that the Teaching Commons people should be very proud of. They worked very, very hard on it. So I think that's about it. I'll say thank you again. Congratulations to the other award winners. Trent's a pretty good place, and it is because you all worked very hard to make it so. So thank you very much.
Thank you, George. And thanks for really demonstrating the potential for online learning to be a really effective space. Thanks. It's now my pleasure to welcome back Dr. Mary Claire Buell. You see, not only did she receive one of this year's Early Career Researcher Awards, but she was the 2023 CUPE Teaching Award recipient, and now an assistant professor in Trent School of the Environment and Forensic Science. I'll invite Dr. Buell to present the 2025 CUPE 39081 Award for Excellence in Teaching.
I'm way less nervous this time around. Okay, so it is my great pleasure to introduce the 2025 CUPE 39081 Award for Excellence in Teaching to Dr. Paul Mazaki. Thank you. I'm sorry. This award recognizes contract faculty who have strong positive impact on students' learning. This year, almost 50 nominations were submitted on behalf of contract faculty for this award. Dr. Mazaki was a sessional faculty member in the Department of Political Studies. Dr. Mazaki's engaging teaching style, characterized by thought-provoking questions and dynamic class discussions, motivated students to submit many glowing nominations on his behalf. His nominators noted his exceptional ability to push students' understanding and critical thinking to new levels. Dr. Mazaki's positive impact on student learning is emblematic of the essential role of contract faculty and their essential role that they play in our institution. Congratulations. I would like to invite you to make a few remarks.
Thanks. I don't have too much to say, just thanks to everyone at Trent and especially the students that nominated me and especially to everyone in the politics department who's really been supportive as well, especially Dana, Devin, and Hajmat who've always sort of been there for me. And it's always been a real pleasure teaching at Trent too. I've taught at a lot of different universities. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. Our next award is for Excellence in Teaching Assistants, and I would like to welcome Dr. Wesley Burr, Chair of Mathematics and Statistics, to present this award.
So the award for Excellence in Teaching Assistants, as we sort of know, it recognizes teaching assistants who excel at encouraging learning, both in the labs, the seminars, the field settings, or the workshops. That sounds great, but it's more than that. We were hearing from instructors who are being awarded, but as we all know, when we go to teach a class, it makes a world of difference who your TAs are. We can't do it alone. The sizes of the class don't allow. The students need the support. They need that hands-on touch, and we're only one body. And so a good TA can make or break your class. And in math and stats, and to a lesser extent, but still in computer science, we have had the absolute privilege of having one of the best undergraduate TAs we've ever had. And today I would like to welcome the recipient from 30 different TAs who were nominated across the university, 12 glowing nominations to Mr. Mark Trumbull, who is graduating from Trent, and we're going to lose him, but he's going on to better things and heading off to York to become a teacher himself. So, Mark.
Thank you. I must say, I feel like a little kid at the adult table right now. It's an absolute honor to be accepting an award in a room full of such esteemed academics and educators today. If you'd have asked me in first year what I thought I'd be doing for work through my time at Trent, my answer would have been working as a ski lift operator. I did work as a ski lift operator for 2.5 years, but I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I had to transition to working for the Department of Mathematics and Statistics as a teaching assistant, and the numerous staff members that made it possible for me to make that transition. Being a TA taught me many things, both academically and professionally. One of the most important things that I learned was the importance of connecting with students and what it really means to form those connections. It's an amazing privilege to be part of students' learning journeys as they bring their diverse backgrounds and epistemologies to the classroom to find a safe place to build relationships, practice new skills, and when I do my job correctly, happen to learn some new things, just like a little kid at the adult table. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mark, and good luck in your studies at York and your teaching career. I'd like to now welcome Dr. Laura Sommerfeld, the 2024 Symons Award recipient and professor in the psychology department, to present the 2025 Symons Award for Teaching Excellence.
Good afternoon. Oops. Yeah, oops. We were doing it. I can go. Am I going? Yeah. Okay, very good. I have the pleasure of presenting the Symons Award for Excellence in Teaching, which is considered Trent's highest teaching honor. Developed from the legacy of Dr. Tom Symons, this award celebrates faculty who show exemplary care for students by developing supportive environments that motivate, inspire, and challenge them to do their very best. It's an honor to be able to recognize these attributes in our Trent faculty. This year, over 90 Trent faculty and instructors were nominated for the Symons Award. So it's a big review job. So I'm very proud to present the 2025 Symons Award for Excellence in Teaching to someone whose dedication, care, and concern for students epitomizes its very values, and that is David Riegert. David Riegert is a lecturer in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. He's recognized for his innovative teaching methods and his ability to foster dynamic and inclusive learning environments. Professor Riegert goes above and beyond to make himself available to students and provide them with exceptional support. And these facts were mentioned again and again in the staggering number of nominations that were submitted on his behalf. Professor Riegert challenges students to reach their full potential, and his passion for teaching is evident in all aspects of his work. His positive impact on student learning is truly inspiring. So with that being said, at this time, I would like to invite Professor Riegert to make some remarks. Congratulations.
Well, hello. So at first I wanted to say thank you to everyone who took the time to nominate. And I think as like everyone else was saying, it's not just something that you can kind of show up and teach at a university. When I arrived here in 2021, I had a lot of support from the department that I came to. In particular, Wesper was here all summer when most of the university offices are vacant. And when I arrived in August, he was a constant door that I came to knock on. How does this work in Blackboard? How do I make this work? What's the policy on this? I have 2 weeks. Where do I submit my syllabus? So all of these things were very important to learn about to be able to even get started. So typically, after somebody says congratulations, I like to say thank you and then launch into some self-deprecation. But I'll leave that aside for now, so I won't put you through that. But there are things that could be improved, as with everything that we do. So I teach stats, so who here loves statistics? Not just likes it. Oh man, okay. Next year, I'm gonna need a few of you to show up, and when I ask that question, that's the kind of response I wanna see, because typically, not so much. I teach predominantly introductory stats to science students, so it's non-calculus statistics. These are students who typically don't have as much mathematical background, and so we try to make statistics accessible for them through things like programming. Now, this introduces its own issues because programming isn't necessarily the easiest thing to learn, and a lot of these students are coming from backgrounds where they also don't know how to program. And so maybe it's a switch for one difficult topic for another. But they also don't want to be there because these are often prerequisite courses. And as I mentioned, these are students who typically, I don't get that response. And I think maybe only about a fifth of you were like, yeah, but you were very loud, which I appreciate. So the goal, as I know for anyone who's teaching a course, running a lab, doing anything when you're interacting with people, is to try to get interaction from the students' engagement, and I don't just mean like in a classroom, but you want them to engage with the course material. You want them to actually learn and be curious about the topic, because that's when they're actually going to learn something, is if they actually care to go out and seek it themselves. Because we can't give them everything they need. They have to go find some of it for themselves. So I try to do that, and I'm working on improving that, because as things have changed, there's lots and lots of opportunities now, particularly over the last few years, to take advantage of the climate that we're in technologically, in particular, I suppose. And so there's some challenges to overcome, but those also come with a lot of opportunities for us. I find that the best part of the job is when I can help students finish the course successfully. And so what this looks like is going to vary based on the student. Oftentimes, these are students who have struggled throughout the semester for whatever reason, and they have the courage to come and talk to me about what's going on, and I think we've all been in this situation. And one of the nicest things is to be able to allow that student the opportunity to finish the course successfully. And when I went to a SAS workshop, what I also like to add on, and this is from them, is it also gives them the opportunity to fail. So they may not finish the course, but they have the chance to. So these are some of the things that I like a lot about working with students, is that opportunity. And there's a huge middle ground of students that you never see, and they're doing fine, and they're amazing. You never hear from them though.
but there's kind of the bottom 10% and bottom in whatever way you want to take that. So these are people that are struggling in some way. And then there's kind of the top 10%, and you sort of hear from both. And typically, you don't need to help the top 10% too much, but you can kind of shove them on their way a little bit. And the bottom 10% are the ones that you can probably have the most impact with. One of the nicest pieces of feedback that we get in 1051 and 1052, these are the intro courses, is on our sets, we'll get, I don't really like math, but I didn't hate this class. And as we continue to modify and evolve the course, we're really hoping for, I didn't like math, but I liked this class, and maybe loved, but that's further in the future. So thank you very much, and yeah, thanks so much.
Congratulations, David. I would now like to invite Christopher Rooney, Senior Director of the Office of Research and Innovation, to present the Distinguished Researcher Award.
Thank you. As a research administrator, we typically have a high-level view of the research activity that happens here. Not as often as I'd like do we get to take a deep dive into the extraordinary activities that our faculty researchers lead each and every day. And so seeing the amazing accomplishments at Trent and beyond of our faculty researchers is one of the things that inspires our team to do the work that we do. This event, and in particular this award, is one of the annual highlights for me. With that, I am so honored to join you this afternoon to present the Distinguished Research Award, the highest honor conferred by Trent University for research and scholarly activity, to Dr. Marguerite Xenopoulos. A professor in biology and Tier 1 Canada Research Chair in Global Change of Freshwater Ecosystems, Dr. Xenopoulos is a global leader in the study of dissolved organic matter in streams and their impact on freshwater organisms, ecosystems, and the environment and communities, both locally and globally. Recognized and highly regarded by peers, Dr. Xenopoulos has been a key figure in the global scientific community. By sheer numbers, including publications, invited talks, and citations, Dr. Xenopoulos' record as a researcher and scholar shines through. Perhaps more extraordinary, though, is the influence Dr. Xenopoulos has on policy, environmental management, the research ecosystem, and the access for training of new scientists. Dr. Xenopoulos' research has informed strategic decisions for habitat restoration and management, contributing to the protection and sustainability of freshwater ecosystems, and breakthroughs in our understanding of winter science and ice. A look at the field of research in Dr. Xenopoulos' areas of expertise showcases an extensive list of scientists and scholars that have trained in and with Dr. Xenopoulos' research program, exemplified by a focus on creating opportunities for women and students from diverse backgrounds to participate in the scientific community. With a remarkable track record securing external grants, providing training to the next generation of scientists, and a remarkable and extensive list of awards for research, as well as contributions to equity, diversity, and inclusion from organizations such as the American Geophysical Union and the International Association for Great Lakes Research, Dr. Xenopoulos exemplifies the honor of this award. With a nomination package that showcased exemplary and long-standing research excellence, and in recognition of sustained, significant, and groundbreaking research in freshwater ecology and profound impact on the global scientific community, it is an honor to present Dr. Xenopoulos with the 2025 Distinguished Research Award. Congratulations.
Thanks, everyone. I have notes to keep me on time. So thank you very much for this honor. David, every single one of my research papers has statistics in it, and I wish my students loved them as much as you love them, too. And some of them do. So I want to take this opportunity to express gratitude, share a few quick personal stories, and maybe even provide some inspiration. I have many to thank. My nominator, Jim Schaefer, thank you, and my biggest champion, Paul Frost, who actually knows my research network well, and so managed to spam over 50 individuals who collectively submitted 35 support letters for this nomination, so thank you. To my family, who are wonderfully adept at dealing with my scatterbrain, my two older sons are here, Joey, who's graduating this year in statistics, and Andy, so they're sitting there in the audience. My youngest is at school. Thank you for supporting me, for always being there, and know that when I forgot to pick you up or drop you off, I did that on purpose to help you build resilience. I would also like to thank my students, postdocs, and all the highly qualified personnel that came through my lab, who inspire me with their energy, enthusiasm, and creativity, who supply me with fresh and diverse perspectives, who challenge the way that I think. I'm not the only one that challenges the way they think. They challenge me too. And who teach me as much as I teach them. Know that you are the most important part of my research program. More than any paper that we will publish together, more than any meeting that we will go together, I am so proud of your accomplishments, and we still have a lot of work to do. And I include my students a lot in what I do. This past December, I went down to Washington, D.C. to receive an award, and this was a black tie banquet event, and I asked them to pick the dress that I was going to wear. This was important to me that they choose the dress. It wasn't my choice, but whatever. Sequins, shiny. Anyway, I wore the dress. So in a similar fashion, I asked them what they thought I should talk about today in this 2-minute speech that I have. And what they said was, why don't you tell us what makes you stand out or what makes you unique, which is unusual. But anyway, later that night, I told Paul that this was my task, and without blinking an eye, it's almost like he knows me, he said, don't make it political. So here goes. So the very nature of science and its role in our society is under attack. We heard that earlier, maybe less so in Canada, but still so. And it's been a while, maybe more so now, especially south of us. Well-established scientific consensus on important issues like climate change, like public health, like source water protection, they're all being ignored. They're sometimes being ignored in policymaking. It depends on the politics of the day. It depends who's running the show. So we are living a little bit in dangerous and frightening times. And so politicians are favoring ignorance over scientific inquiry. Not all of them, but some of them. My biggest thing is that misinformation and disinformation is spreading on social media like wildfire. So this is dangerous. Colleagues and peers sometimes abuse their powers. You just have to let it go and move on. All this to say that I think we must, as individuals, embrace discomfort. We need to step outside of our laboratory safe space, our field safe site. We need to get out there. We need to engage with the medias. We need to engage with schools. We need to educate our young. We need to be less comfortable. We need to tell the public. We need to tell the neighbors about these issues. When those in power wish for the public to remain ignorant on politically inconvenient truths, we cannot do our jobs properly as research scientists. If society is not informed of these issues, their causes, and their potential solutions. So while we are living in challenging times, these are days that are also filled with opportunities to speak up and to speak out, which for those of you who know me, know that this is usually how I operate. So this is what I tend to do. I tend to wear whatever on my sleeve. I don't know if this is what makes me stand out or if this is what makes me unique. So if I disappointed the students, I'm sorry, but this is what I came up with. But this is what I would say today. Don't be afraid to embrace this discomfort and to take this ethical risk for the common good. Try to do something that makes you uncomfortable every day, whether it is, writing an editorial, writing a blog, going on social media saying, I don't believe this, this is wrong, this isn't the truth. Finding an error in your own research and admitting to it. Walking up to someone you admire and introducing yourself, even if you're super shy, or even calling out inappropriate conduct. Because ultimately, I'm always inspired by how we can easily come together to support one another, even here at Trent. A lot of the support and network is what drives what I do and who I am every day. So thank you so much for this award. Thank you for the committee. And it's wonderful to be recognized for doing all the stuff that I love to do. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all at the reception.
Congratulations, Maggie. And I'd like to thank all of the recipients for their very thoughtful comments. So how about a round of applause for sharing. I would now like to invite Dr. Holger Hintelman, Interim Vice President, Research and Innovation, to give some closing remarks.
Great. Thank you, Fergal. And yes, wow, what an amazing event. I'm still a bit in awe after witnessing this concentrated lineup of really exceptional researchers and educators, something which I think often goes hand in hand, especially here at Trent University. But what stood out for me today is really the passion and the dedication of our award recipients. And as Maggie pointed out, in such uncertain times, it is important to continue to shine a light on what makes Trent such a unique and special place, which is the exceptional quality of our faculty, both as researchers and as educators. What our teaching award recipients have in common is a relentless commitment to their students. They truly went above and beyond to support them on their academic journeys, whether it be through pedagogical and curricular innovation or through dedicated one-on-one support. They enhanced student learning and made a lasting impact. And guiding students through a challenging terrain of ideas, these educators inspire confidence in their students so that they not only survive, but thrive. Those efforts in the classrooms are very critical, but not the only mandate that we have here at Trent. And I'm especially proud of our research award recipients. So the ongoing efforts of our faculty to invent, to create, to innovate are astounding, and the motivation our recipients demonstrate is truly inspiring. It is a delight to celebrate the research being conducted at Trent and recognize the accomplishments of award recipients as their work contributes to our understanding of who we were, what we can do, and what we aim to be. To our award recipients, my congratulations to your accomplishments. We are grateful for your passion, for your commitment to student success, your institutional leadership, and your contributions to your field of study. You have made a remarkable, lasting impact, not only within your classrooms, on your fields, but also on Trent University as a whole. So I thank you all in closing for joining us today as we commemorate our achievements of our colleagues. What an inspiring way to end the 24-25 academic year. And sincere congratulations again to you all. And now I invite you to join the reception that we have got set up outside for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Holger. This ends the ceremonial portion of our celebration of excellence. I would like to thank the Trent Teaching Commons and the Office of Research and Innovation teams for their work in organizing this event, Don White and Steve Rose for their technical support. I'd like to give a special thank you to Vic Moore-Blakeney, Elise Dingman, and Laura McFadden for all their hard work in planning this event. I would like to thank my co-host, Fergal O'Hagan. I think we were funnier than Jimmy Kimmel, sometimes even on purpose. Thank you to everyone for joining us to celebrate today. We would ask that the award recipients please grab your award and meet at the photo wall by the stairs for a group photo. For everyone else, please join us next door in the event space for a reception to further celebrate our award recipients. Thank you all for coming.